Good evening. Please remain seated and come to order. Note the time is April 9th, 8:31 p.m. or so, April 2016, Saturday. Pacific Standard Time. Now what we have here is new developments, some could say. Charlie's realm is also the reptilian realm, and Steve's a genetic experiment, and we don't want to say gone array, the waters fell apart or something. We want to recite the behaviors, the menacing behaviors of pretend to be people that want to act like they're people, want to act like mankind or Steve. Steve, you want to say that everything bad that you can think is the deal, and that ain't how it goes. Whoever thinks they're calling the shots. You don't promote and push negative energy and call it a say, especially if y'all that's right. I do want to make something of it. Well, I can. You have to note the mirror before you start judging people and eating them up, screwing them in the butt in the cemetery's invisible realms, police units. Do I make myself clear or not? Note the time. You all lie, you didn't understand what we're talking about. The invisible realm, just the interdimensional blacker destinations being robbed of people's presence and acquaintances and friendships and ongoing love and life because you're doing opposite what you're supposed to be doing. Reptilians and cats hungry to make a meal out of Steve. And women and feline are just like an organ and an imagination of conquest of souls and stuff like that. Looks like a feline people, feline population trying to act like they want to carnivore me, my unit of sophistication. And they're acting very, very immature and impolite too by this doing. So we try to give you a nice fair shake. You're not supposed to be raising herds of cats to do us up and make devil food out of us. That is the police department face and others that use knives and kill, cut up, and rectally fornicate, and do evil to heaven. They have nothing good to psych and situate. They're too wild to understand, tame. Can't trust that. You're going to trust that with your kid? If you ever get one that you don't want, or do want, you want to screw over whatever you can. Charlie Schofer's realm, inquisitive, understandings. Reptilian feline candor, devil's candor, is what we see here in the paraplegic unit. Calling Steve a liar about his apparition, his act of God, godly communion. telepathies, I said, acute hearing perception telepathies in everybody's ears for 20 years. We've all been hearing Steve relay Assange for the God figures. Got to chant a little bit. It's not real bad. It's kind of very disturbing a little bit when you lie to my face and poison me and drug me and lie you don't understand all that for a fight about your double side to live your lives must be the reasons why give a rise to threats and suspicions about your nature. If this is a reflector field mechanic capability and we're exacting contentions, Mr. Holder and others, you too, Johnson, sir, Ben Johnson, you too. Everybody's a replica. It's not new news. Want to turn it off and run from the law and society they're doing treachery and dunder and heinous crimes of unparalleled proportion in the cemeteries. And expect me to sit here and not get upset at them and want them to change around, including eating people everyday affair with every person on the job in the sectors we're at. I don't take kindly to that kind of behavior from supposedly star elders or space travelers. Who are supposed to set a benevolent example on goodness, graciousness, not herds of stinking element of fuck yous, candor to psych and situate. And you think you can be trusted in something like that? You know how to act like you're human. Obama and others, Secret Service, women, ladies. You know, act like cute ladies. But you shouldn't be a rectal insemination scam, Charlie and other reptilians calling the shots in Charlie's absence. It looks like good bait to me. It's not supposed to be, you're doing exactly the opposite. Now this film is about protecting and serving the millions and billions of people that you procreate in billions of dimensions. Units of sophistication not needed. Locations, dimensions. You procreate the same gizmo as you're doing with Steve. A world full of all this energy and a visible realm that we're not too much aware of is the deal. And it looks like it's a big world. So that's what it sounds like. You're trying to abuse alien technology and abusing the female anatomy. You got the idea you stole it and maneuvered, genetically altered the female disposition to be a slave unit of a perjure and inseminate rectum for cock larger than you know. Attention. And you rape and murder to do those deeds too. In the next phase generation, which is supposed to be heaven and heaven on earth, world without end. That's what you lead us to believe. Everyone's attention. That God is good. God is good in my opinion, but you're bad. Deputies. Custer's last stand, over. Deputies, don't try to send people over here poisoning me and sabotaging my unit. Sophistication, expect to go anywhere. Yeah, that looks really, really good. doubt about it. But you want them, they know how to act and play the part. It's good and stuck up, like they're nice peoples, you know. But you can't be a bottom out scene about it in mind and attitude. And when you bring forward real women or other women, you're not supposed to know that they're a puppet show of reptilian dunder seeking and mischief. So you become innocent, nice women, gals that grow up the right way. And you should be setting that example, and you should be driving those incentives to move that way. Everyone's attention, reptilian leaders. Not trying to make more smelly, putrid, stinking, defecating in public rats getting away, scun's jobs. When you know how to try to bring forward something like, you know, what we see here, human anatomy, not invitation that you're not supposed to have any understanding, or the girls you bring in, the women, kids, are not supposed to have any understanding, like Steve didn't have, of their puppet string association with reptilian mischief, abuse of alien technology. So they wind up being little darlings and not mischief makers that want to understandably get laid another way and get excited another way because of this bait and trap and lure scene you got going in underground installations and in the cemeteries of life, being screwed over every day, every police official, every police person, especially masses, the responsible culpable parties, trying to blame it on the old family trick that was phony and from the get-go, and even Charlie's association, test tube is this, that, and the other, if other reasons. The reptilian brain, like that guy we see here sometimes, like Stan's act. So, Lord forbid, if I would have liked any gal, they got their hands on him before I could boo-hoo. Little did I know. And the whole gang, because they do incest real bad. That's what I heard, as knockout as they look sometimes. And some of them, they're really guys too, in a way, don't want to be gals. They want to be both, which is very confusing. They know how to be gals, to me, for the most part, and you can usually distinguish them different. But where I'm supposed to be going, you can't tell. They just want to make a devil meal out of you. Swamp lagoon creature come out, start ripping away. Orgy ensues. And the cat population, feline population, is already succumbed. If that's applicable, you're pulling out a little deal out of your side right there and making them not have any individual capacity at all, any soul, nada. Now, souls would be consequential, not consequential. We'll bring that debate up. Genetic manipulation. When is the time to develop a soul? When is the time to stop developing a soul and take the soul and reuse the energy, if applicable. So a God can make a better creation out of the energy that you don't seem to understand. Sometimes, you hope that your soul goes to the solar matrix, your afterlife experience. That's not supposed to be an afterlife experience. That's clear, just straight up murder from what we hear and our research shows us. By all of you, brought here and brought together by Charlie Schofer, said to be experiments working with as Luciferian and reptilian done their pleasure, wider ones awakening. So you do a good job acting like people. You want to live up to the reputation of being as good and cool as people. Where we get those reptilians? You know how to play the part. It's very charming people. I'm not supposed to put you down because you're part feline, the women type, if that's applicable, coming out of a side organ of a con job manipulation. And that's what I don't want to see is con job manipulation. Make women, gals, procreate them. In the future, don't create just men so you can anally copulate them and get off because you see them going for something that's supposed to be normal. And you're an evilness instead of a goodness with Lucifer's aims, clearly. Just pretend you don't know speak any English. You don't have the attention span to deal with this. You want to fight and don't have an attention span to discuss and research element. Magician tricks to put penises in my mouth and lie about everything they can get away with, and evilness, negative energy, bad. Proud of it? It's not a good thing to be proud of. Yeah, males that are part cat, if feline, that is excused, please. Said to be make-believe replicas of me. They're supposed to be feline, part feline. Imitation. These are some of the tricks and treats the reptilian fathers are trying to confuse me in this with who are the population identities as well. All set and intent on trying to get Bob Anderson and Kathy to poison me again, like she did today. Got some soup for you. And Nancy seemed to have caught them, that's how I know. Check the phone records. You don't believe. That's what Nancy seemed to indicate to everyone's attention. You just open my eyes and go to the invisible realm, not aware of my surrounding entities. That's nice to hear, that's good to hear. I've got to meditate a chant too sometimes because it sounds a little weird, but whatever, you'll get over it. Don't want to know anything about it. The Supreme Court, all guilty of replicating a judge bench in the Supreme Court, and doing everything to put dicks in my mouth instead and dicks in my ass and rape me in the cemetery, John Roberts' side. And I'm the only human here in this realm. And you're reptilian garbage, so to speak, my opinion. Saying fuck you if you don't like it. Nothing to do with the law at all, basically, on the up and up. No offense intended, there's a little bit of subversion. We're grown-ups. Don't say that to me, please, in mind and attitude to us, our types, and eat us up and fuck us in the ass all the way to kingdom come. It's a joke. And consider yourself lucky you're getting touched, so to speak, Obama don't want to know he's a rectal-pleasing animal, telling a lie about his human nature. Secret Service, Mr. Johnson does the terror that occurs and orchestrates it, like he's doing now, to shut us up, one way or another. Auntie Nancy, Judge Anton or Williamson, sir, intercepts routinely, 1,000 times a day sometimes or more. Maybe a quadrillion or two. So the fact that we need to have real women and real gals be brought forward in a sense that they don't understand their reptilian puppet show, nor a reptilian design flaw using feline apparatus abuse and not giving real women types a chance to develop, taking their souls and S's to nowhere is important. Everything we need to know. Fantasy scams, lewd and lascivious behaviors conducive to in league with Satan and Lucifer's aims. And you'd think Charlie had more respect than that, but he did. But reptilians don't understand. Well, we're going to have to jolt some of them because let's get some of the smelly putrid up here. We got any? Well, you're a really smelly putrid person in disguise. You know what I'm saying? Pretending that you're a sweet gal everybody likes to take home. And you shouldn't go baiting people, teasing people like that. Let me see if we can find that folder. Sorry about this. Let's look at my folder. I don't think we can find it. Here they are. We don't have a PDF made. Where's the reptilians? Here they are, right here. Yeah, that's not the smelly, stinking one, but they are smelly, stinking there too. See, you guys are very primitive compared to me and my entity's attention. Doing the opposite kind of behaviors, pretending you don't speak any English. Pretend like you're an alien, or treat you like an alien. Don't know how to communicate common sense etiquette. Return emphasis. An undertaker in disguise is all you got planned for us, for me. That's not what I want to see. Let me do this real quick. Let's see, think this will make a PDF with 4 windows running? Just take a second. By George, it's advanced. Thank you, and nice people over at Adobe products, Google products, Internet products, Microsoft, and others, fine pieces of technology. Thank you, sir. A little bit of chanting there. Oops. Try to deceive me every minute you can, Generals. I don't know. all got the same thing in common. No other fib for. Yep, the worst kinds. A lot smellier and stinkier looking than this guy right here. You pretend to assimilate knowing how to make people. But you walk around being the stinkingest example of conniving, lying, murdering, butt-fucking, the worst kind. You pretend you don't not dare and don't hear, just a picture as much as you can get away with. You have a fiduciary obligation and an opportunity here to get on the God wagon. We're protected by the Lord anyway. We don't run with the butt-fucking murderers' mind and attitude, first of all. And the Lord clears our mind and tells us up every day, pretty much. Eat plenty of bread. Get some water. Get some sleep every night. It's not a very good picture. We got better pictures. I don't have the right pictures up. I have to go fishing for them. Yeah, that looks really nice too. But I don't want to know anything, nasty or anything like that, and I don't want to see it, neither do you. If you want to try to step up to the bar and act like nice women and gentlemen, and not act like wild animals that don't know how to maintain when you turn your back on them in the invisible realm, I hear. Trying to take it back and act like they're really a guy and not a chick, to say fuck you to your face when you stole their S's to do genetic fuckovers to us. Reptilian gender seeker on my side, I side. So I suggest you start investing in the real deal side of procreating real women and gentlemen and get your footing better if you want to do something that works. And not to eat and fuck their souls over in every regard, like I see you're doing anyway. I have to get real mad at them. I don't want to see that you're a big catalyst for a cat eat, orgy, fuck over incest desire when you try to maintain a shape and a figure as a desirable woman or undesirable woman, what have us, human woman. You bought it. You bought into the ideation, into the procreation. Now you got to live with it. So you're doing incest in the invisible realm like a motherfucker. You're not supposed to even do that. And saying that and doing it and scolding somebody for doing that, you don't understand psychology very good. Between pointing it out in a clear and undesirable manner, representing of its undesirable nature to see and the complications that arise from those kind of behaviors, you have this wonderful opportunity to take a hop, skip, and jump into the realm of humanality, and instead of do it over and screw it over in every way possible to manipulate fuckovers in time, we see cat brains and dog brains at the helm with butt fucking problems running the deal. Now I can handle some of the partying and stuff like that. I can handle a little riffraff if you're a heads up person. What I can tolerate and handle. If I were to have a say in the matter and describe it to a higher court's accord, so to speak, in areas of need to protect themselves and defend themselves from garbage we see, or learners. But I don't have much more time to learn. You need to start doing, you need to start making some incarcerations not fuck over in detail, the worst kinds, the most cowardice, Secret Service, especially local detachments, problems, have lied from the get-go in the jails, intimidated me, did treachery and seditious acts of treason no matter who said you didn't. Motherfuckers got a nerve and a gall to keep it coming and not see the light for the side of fuckover, nothing to do with the law, your pledge of allegiance and your oath, every Secret Service agent in on it, trying to laugh and meet this manifestation of mirror right there, complected, not give a rat's ass about who it is. Psych, another charge, a different charge, a bullshit charge. You need to be killed really bad too, motherfuckers, if self-defense is the issue. If I have a say in the matter too, alien death too, because you don't really die, human units of sophistication. That's why you're big bravo, running your mouth, giving me lip. Pig units and other areas of fuckovers. So it does get nasty on front lines. Sometimes. They all want it up the ass as their commonality still, and want to murder and do murder as we speak. And I don't know if Nancy's we're bringing them in, rounding them up. Seems to think. Like you fuck off and lie about it, crack jokes because you're queer butt fuckers and murderers and liars in the invisible realm that rape every day and murder every day, calling us bullshit because we haven't put our foot down, like Obama's ass, lies. Want to lie and use nuclear tactical weapons to decide because our screen protects us somewhat. And he's like a wild animal that can't accept God's like you're joking around trying to do the same thing all the while. Mind and attitude. Clinton, Charlie and Reptilian's puppet show desires. If I'm in my own right to consider making critical remarks to a higher court's accord towards production, engineering of protective services aimed at castrating serial killers one way or another, or taking their energy matrices away, like Mr. Obama's going out of office. I didn't pick on you for a while because you're leaving pretty soon. But if you want to be a complete fuckover about it, like you are being, because you butt fucking transvestite in the White House calling it Michelle as the news, it's what we hear almost everyday routine, and say fuck you God, fuck you Mr. God, hail reptilians and Satan. Basically you're saying to my face, cocksucker, with everyone's blessing on it, like Clinton's, take a lying oath. Thinks he can laugh at the matter like a fucking kid and say hallucination this, hallucination that, when we clearly have telepathies intrinsic mind control the last 20 years. Everybody's a goddamn fucking godforsaken liar about that fact. And goddamn you for it, all of you, especially mental health and sheriff department and probation. Orange County, the most troublemaking scrimmage leaders of all. Leading that fuck-over campaign and poison and shoot and kill and act like a wild animal because Judge Dancy or Judge Williamson and these supernal honorable judges and other stayed and seated us that we may continue our just advising, call attention to the contemporaneous needs to mold into something we can hold and make a destination placard fitting and becoming at least better than where I'm at here if I actually succumb, not in one ear and out the other, to the next phase advance without foul play. Then you hear what I said. Well, get it together, quit trying to jive me and act like you can do. My next phase generation guarantees that I don't become a bloody Sabbath black mass victim. And definitely you need to be castrated. Reptilian desires, I don't even want to see them inseminating anymore. They do nothing to do with civil. They know how to act like a human. They know how to set up a law and take an oath like a human society, and the providential acknowledgement they swear an oath to, and do fuck you in reverse. What I see, they swore your oath, Clancy, and others, and Clinton, and Wendy Lindy, Mr. Pink, Mr. Carter, Ms. Hutchins, fuckovers, lying about it all, in league with Satan, and reptilian mismanaged identities. And I do want to make something of it for the good and the better for all of you too, not just to be mean about it. We got the reptilian part up. So reptilians are your father in another realm of mistaken identity. No, you're breaking the law, police units and mental health. First of all, you're lying about the cartoon phenomena on the maps of Africa. Everyone can see and hear telepathically through intrinsic mind control and acute hearing perception the last 20 years or more. You don't want to know and you don't want to look at the audio, video exhibits here. This exemplifies a judge's seat, utility people, officers, police Mallard over here people, mental health people here, police Mallard here, remember? For lines of communication, or you're a fucker trying to forget everything you can. We teaching and working with this. Well, these aren't no nice, polite people. This is calls for a very serious answer back. You don't want to be a pushover. You want your fathers or the reptilians to think just because you're polite and nice, you're a fucking pushover faggot. Fuckers. Need their asses kicked really bad. I say. If I have a right to defend myself, if it's all true, or some of it's true, true-ish, not there, a little bit there. fit there too. You look like a cow and a bug. And over here we got this dog kind of, this creature kind of person, individual, pet. It looks like a pet with a snake mouth trying to eat a bird or a chicken or something, calling troops to help or not calling troops to help. Some flying magic, trying to depict something. A research study of cartographic topography and element of cartoon phenomena, so to say. So Britain's got a lot of influence to think of, especially when you advise that Old English lasts for as long as you can, not just 100 years and then just a fucking big fancy dancy fuckover by everybody out to do Steve's soul. What else? I don't want that to happen. I want you to eat shit and die trying and learn to get with the program better. Wouldn't you? If that's especially living up to the code of justice about no murdering, no lying in court. Exact contentions capability we have up is something. When we say technical means of verification and nuclear disarmament is supposed to be something, we don't really mean that because you're all nuclear composite fireproof individuals trying to fuck over any way you can because you're made. Police units, my areas, if I'm making my case understood, it's my job and duty to do so, make my evidence available to high court's understanding and accord. Just chanting a little bit, in areas of defend yourselves and protect yourselves from viral, menacing behaviors of police units not knowing how to carry on a conversation that's constructive and meaningful towards evolution and conducive to civil. All that, all there. Not too much going there. Just over here, we got this, something like a, judges quarter don't want to understand. Judges on call, all tell lies. It hasn't dawned on them to offer something decent and accommodating other than threats to evict me and lies to poison and murder and apprehend me because I wasn't a murderer, I wasn't a degenerate, and I'm here to help. We work with the programs of evolution and energy exchange for screw-overs to mankind, assistance. No can have a side in the sight fork is also their oath to Lucifer. Lucifer aims. Don't come over here conducting approach for peaceful. If you want to talk business, Skype and email me and come down and we'll see if we'll let it go through, or else you don't really want to talk business, you want to talk by fucking over on the site manager institution. That ain't what I say to do. I don't deserve a cheap shot like that by liars and oaths for fuckovers. Candor, nothing to do with it. Law, protect the law, sworn to protect the law. Pardon me, please. Everybody speaks English. Russian people all speak and understand English as we talk. Pretend they don't understand that I'm the only human in this realm, have all those nuclear hell objectives to torment and torture the hell out of me just in case they get caught. Being nothing to do with the law, nothing to do with civil. All to do with wild animals' desires. Unsupervised for a while. They know how to act the part. Decent humans. But this event come up, they don't walk in the right direction. They walk in the fuck you direction of evolution. Anything to do to change your attention that we're not all a cat scam and scams to do your soul up in living quarters. We arise to the attention of another judge on call who needs his ass kicked or killed real bad for telling a lie for 20 years about everybody can hear the telepathies, because that's in fact trying to add assault on me by lying about you didn't hear the telepathies we've had. The acute hearing perception you play dumb and stupid to, motherfucker, warring, fighting words, by the way, that you instigate and aggravate mayhem to see judges and answer the question, why have you failed to bring forward the evidence of telepathies and cartoon phenomena, divine interventions in the last 20 years, every day, every year? You got a double side to live your life, mister? Want to come up here doing fuck overtime for the 30,000th interception? And who knows how long? Muscles is not supposed to be the law. Fire is not supposed to be the law. Bigger is not supposed to be the law. Abuse of alien technology is not supposed to be the law. No matter if Hagee, the big faggot Luciferian himself, runs his big mouth telling big lies about God and God's image, all to stick cocks up your ass and act like he isn't doing everything he says not supposed to do. A hypocrite. Trying to scare people or me. And they're not knowing that he's a devil and all you offer is Satan. Fuckovers. Like I said, right? You hear me. And fat boy's fucking opinions, you can hear from here to fucking hell, where he belongs. And I used to follow that slob about some years back, thought he was a good, nice guy. Mostly Africa, a little India, and a couple other countries. You make little ones out of it, but they're not real significant too much. A little bit. But deputies got a real bad problem with telling the truth in court and noticing the emphasis of propensity, what's more important or what's more relevant, tell the truth for what truth you're seeking, to divide and not be indivisible at all. For cats and rats and fuck over creatures to the enemy to mankind to prevail and live on with the purpose of fucking over man, like you're doing. Man's image is supposed to be God's image too, that you know and you ascribe yourselves. Wrote about it in Bible literature. Mr. Pink's got no time for this. He's a very, very guilty perpetrator. So is Cutie Pie over there, and other Cutie Pies. Her Cutie Pie, very bad perpetrator telling a lie. You too, a big con job in Israel, Palestine, to do my soul up and lie about you don't understand how to keep the peace. When DA does criminy, and so does probation, and every police unit does criminy in every case they're called to. And escorted from attending because the security clearance isn't high enough to our rank element. That's what we heard. So don't come over here causing trouble at Jackson Island. Don't make trouble, tenants. You heard the deal when we took this to the courts and he intercepted, and you know it needs some special attention because you want to see a fight or a fire at Jackson Isle. Say fuck you since you're made not being invalids. Not being mental patients. Keep it cool, local people, please. stay away from this conversation if you would, and this interest, and assimilate being busy another way. Try to get in my face and do a fuck over, please, for working with higher powers that have a say on your souls and your sepulchers, especially units of invasion. There's a caucus telling a lie to all deputy DAs, Charlie and replica citizens together. Extraterrestrial beings not allowed. So there's a lot of negative stuff over here, but I'm the only human. Everybody speaks English, but then they don't speak English, like the Spanish people, the Latin people, the Chinese people, because Mr. Morlock's a big fuckover, surpriser, attacker. Nothing to do with an honest man or an honest commission. All to do with an anti-God fuckover surprises. It wonders why we're disrespectful and use subversive language. He doesn't wonder why, but pretends like he wonders why, and that it's bad to defend yourself from garbage we see, telling lies in police units, sheriff uniforms, and judges' clothers. All hell bent on psyching their right even when they do evil and lie about the most important event reptilians have been faced with in a long time. And feline impossibilities breached. Women impossibilities too. We want to bring forward real women, real gals that have you don't want to understand it. You're just a piece of, you think you're a man to my face, and you got a big dick surprise for us. And that's not how I want a woman to be thinking. That's stinking thinking. Deputy DA, Cutie Pie, by the way, the name. Women can be women that don't anally copulate as a human, live a decent life as a human, even though they got the other double side. They think they're all men because they come out of a little contraption where air flows in the spirit and unknown region. There's plenty to keep you thinking, plenty to go around. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do the next generation. We want to protect and serve and save the men that are being victimized the same way as Steve's intended outcome. And we want to save him from the same kind of tricks that the feline trick abused the feline, the gal women kick to do mischief instead of do a righteous, decent procreation without self-intended gratifications of fucking like a fucking devil in hell, menacing behaviors that need to definitely be castrated like they'd never seen or heard or stopped or lose their energies in Texas. We'll continue to be the subject then, if you've heard it all, just to make sure we're on the level, playing level of the needs and the awarenesses and the transmittals being purposeful and meaningful, not combobulation and ranting about nonsense, contrary to Eden and other clinicians' rhetorical rhetoric and nonsense replies, unless they, be real nice about it and stuff like that, but we don't think they do. Unfortunately. Nice about it, you're going to jail, you're going to prison, you're mental, we're nice about it. That's not the kind of nice we're talking about. What kind of nice did you owe me, like $30,000, $15,000 in a county year for lying and falsifying the information, misleading the presidents, the Secret Service through Charlie's and Reptilian's answers. That you're puppet strings on a show for them, all of you, with them. The Reptilians, all there though. That's what the informational research seems to divulge. It seems to be the finding over here, preliminary findings that we might offer to high court to CHORD. Word has it. And the Lord of gods is emanating and shining through light, through manifestations, and entity and consciousness awareness, telepathic, acute hearing, mind controls. Mr. Ricakis intends on being a fuckover about to the max. Charlie there, and reptilian design aperture, aimed at butt fucking your ass and regressing your soul, no matter who you are, no matter what kind of murder you never committed. And that's all they know how to do. Put the religious stories up front, like Jesus and his history only started in the 50s. Nobody really dies of your kind. And now pronouncing dead is a big lie. Remember, just going over the particulars, and being mindful of mechanics, platform mechanics, and mirror mechanics. Reflector field mechanics, you're not really much if you don't have a good reflector field composition. It could be thought of as what if somebody had a better reflector field disposition. So the units, because they're more tame, less murdering, less raping, less incest doing, something you don't want to know about. Alien people. So when we say we're in control, sort of in Starbase Internal Command, we're not whistling Dixie or playing tiddlywinks, sir. So I suggest you treat the situation a lot more better and becoming than what we see and hear you're doing. Unfortunately, I like that too. I like most of the gals that try and look charming and stuff. So it's not supposed to be a screw over bait for reptilians' desires. I think everything's a queer's call in life. God damn you fuckers. So what do you want to say to me? Somebody's attention? Besides butt plug needed lies and threats and at-large and OR abuse of privilege. Know where our clearances and our security was higher than just about anybody around. Any reptilians almost, pretty much. To some degrees of putting through orders to everyone's attention in areas of make a more fuller contribution to the courts. Can't marry you, cutie pie. I'd like to though. Next case, please. Better cat people, she wants to be a guy, wants to be a gal, because it's got reptilian angst and worries to never mind our supplication. No, it's an interesting aspect. We had the reptilians up, the smelly, stinking ones. They're too grotesque to look at. They're really grotesque. And they smell like putrid, you never believe. And she is a reptilian design manifestation. What they did is they got, what we heard, they must have stolen alive the souls out of women creatures and transformed them into fully armored, mechanized fuckover to try to promote wars and everything to psych my mind, and then not understanding that to get off the worst way imaginable to humans' desire to live and be decent and grow and be part of the plan, not the problem, to God's understandings. If I was say to stand up for human race societies, humanitarian rights, human rights, if it's in my own right to privately record and whoever wants to listen or whatever, it's not terrorist threats in my opinion at all. Because I'm 100% sure you see the cartoon phenomenon, 100% sure you're lying about it to do exactly what we told you never to do. And lying at court, lying in mental health clothes, and secrets. Jackson Isle wants to fuck over some more, if it's true. Because they're all frauds and not really sick, not really mental. And they're made Luciferians, reptilian fuck-over designs. I think I'm going to take this from them. I can take shit from them if I got to say in the matter. They're going to have to change. You don't mind me saying so. I don't give a fuck how big they think they are. They're not bigger and better than gods, that's for sure. And I got a lot of faith. I'm growing more because we've breathed quite a bit more life into with the image, and since then it's become of age, so to speak, and is able to intercept very good. Nowadays, I feel a lot safer. I feel like I'm more compromised as well. And that's about all we're going to have to wrap it up. Just those particulars. Stand strong there, will do. And you need to change your ways. You pretend to be humans, U.S. government. You pretend to be a civilization. You bought into the human realm. Don't fuck it in the ass and murder it and eat it. In every regard, ever imagine. I'm going to try to get a God or somebody real pissed off to tell a God to find out. So somebody get real upset at you guys and do something very, very constructive in the areas of civil approach. Commandments. Now everything that's at them, may a good Lord be followed. May a good Lord show us the way. May a good Lord allow us to see his light. And may the word of understanding and a good Lord's understanding of truth guide us through the many areas of concessions needed to stand up to our flag better, present a higher mast and a stronger flag together. Amen, amen. Now we're seeing the system police unit, police communication line. Remember, others don't interfere and don't meddle, please. You see the security clearances here. Don't lie to yourselves and make troubles. Bob Anderson and others, Kathy Turney, doing evil right now as we sit. To poison again and try again later.